will come away very short, but it is bobbled by Crescent at the 22-yard line. Picked up by McCarty. Tries the left side, gets to the 30. Will be hit out of bounds at around the 33-yard line, where Crescent will take over 1st and 10. So we'll see here what the Crescent Loggers intend to do in maybe some of their offensive halftime adjustments. As Brian mentioned earlier, they had a lot of yardage in that first half, but yardage coming on one pass in excess of 30 yards, another in excess of 60, another in excess of 70. Aside from the long pass, they have not done well offensively. Split backs here behind Barnes, the quarterback, 1st and 10, their own territory. The play will come up the middle, and that is number 16, Greg Hallberg, across the 40 and down near the 44-yard line. And Hallberg looked like he might be stopped at the line of scrimmage, but then broke free and picks up the good chunky yardage of 1st down. In fact, for the Crescent Loggers, Frank Phelps on the tackle, ball spotted at the Logger 44-yard line.
You've got to believe the Crescent coach said something to that team, too.
Barnes again with split backs behind him. Everybody in tight. They want the running game. They'll come this time to the right side. Hagel again, and he's going to be stopped right at about the 45-yard line. Dallas Clark was one of the guys, but there was someone else down on the bottom as well. Didn't pick up who it was. Hallberg picks it up for 1 yard. And it will be 2nd down and 9. As you can probably hear in the PA system, they're saying Mike Harris was the other guy in there on the tackle. What a delight this football game has been to call. One of the best high school football games in terms of excitement I've ever seen. Barnes, the quarterback, wants to throw the football, has the man open at the sideline, complete, 1st down, Crescent. Todd Jeffries there to knock him out of bounds. Jeffries and Phelps on the coverage, and it was number Jason Armstrong. Couldn't pick out the number 23. We have not seen Armstrong catch a pass before, but Armstrong found the seam, if you will, between the two defenders and picks up the 1st down. So Crescent comes right back marching the football against the Manson Trojans. This game is going to be decided by the breaks in this second half. Two great football teams. Man in motion now, right side. First time we've seen that from Crescent. Handoff comes up the middle, didn't fool the Trojans. Gain of 2, and that's it. For number 28, Gary McGarvey. That time they sent number 16, Greg Hallberg, in motion to the right side out of the I formation. And not much at all there when they finally bring the ball up the middle for a gain of 1.5 yards. Call it 2. Sackett and Stenoyan in on the tackle for the Manson Trojans. Loggers set to go on 2nd down long. Pitch right side. Hallberg to the 40-yard line. Turns the corner at the 35 and is tripped up there by the last man with a chance. And that was Mike Harris. Harris trips him up out at the 31, and they're going to say that he fell forward inside the 30 down to the 28, so the Loggers are on the march here. 8:09 to play, 3rd period, and we saw in that first half that 15 or 20 seconds is a whole football game to these two teams. They can score from anywhere. 28-28 time. Barnes, the quarterback, 1st and 10 in Trojan territory at the 28-yard line. Barnes hands off, 2nd man through, left side of the line, down to the 25 before he's hauled down. Jamie Stenoyan, one of several Manson Trojans there on the tackle, as Hallberg gets it down to the 25, a pickup of about 3. The Trojans have done a great job of stopping Crescent here in this drive on the 1st down, but they've given up the 1st down on the 2nd down. Yeah, that makes sense. Barnes, the quarterback, 2nd down and 8. This time rolling to the left, wants to throw the football, big pressure, he's sacked. Todd Jeffries does the job, back at the 35-yard line. Todd Jeffries coming in to sack Joe Barnes back at the 35-yard line, and Jeffries is a fellow who is well noted for offense, but here plays defense too, and this is what Coach Tom Alexander said about Todd before the game.
And he does his defense in a quiet way. All of a sudden, boom, they try to sweep, and there's Todd Jeffries trying to screen pass. There's Todd Jeffries. He's a very intelligent young man. He's had an outstanding career here at Manson.
So, Todd Jeffries, as we mentioned, is the reputation of the offensive star, but there you heard Tom Alexander recognizing him defensively, and Todd gets the sack there. 3rd down and 15 now for Crescent at the 35-yard line of the Trojans. They are still a threat, of course. Barnes on the keeper, left side to the 30-yard line, is hit there, struggles forward, gets back near the original line of scrimmage at the 28 before he's hauled down. Good job from Joe Barnes as he went around the left side and picks up the 6 yards that they had lost on the last play, plus it will be 4th down and 10 now as Mike Harris was there on the tackle again. And you know, old Mad Dog Harris has been in on tackles quite a bit here in this 3rd quarter of play so far. Now a big play here, 4th down and 10 at the 28, and Crescent will go for it. 4th and 10, a tie game, 28-all. Barnes wants to throw, lots of time, no one open downfield. Now looking for Hallberg. It is knocked away, incomplete. The Trojans hold. Great defense, and that time the pass bomb did not work as they went for Hallberg, who was, in fact, momentarily open. The Trojans turning to look at the ball. Hallberg steps back a few steps. The Trojans picked it up, kept their eyes on him, went for him, and knocked the ball away.
Rusty McClellan just turned and patted Todd Jeffries on the head, saying nice job, and Frank Phelps is back there as well. Those three went up in a basketball formation, just knocked the ball away.
Important here, the teams have virtually traded touchdowns for almost a full 2 quarters of playing time. That time, the Trojans deny Crescent. 28, 6:30 to play, third period. Phelps, the quarterback, at his own 28. Pitches right side. Clark, 35, down near the 37-yard line. Maybe they'll mark him out of bounds before then. But as we mentioned, the Trojans have been trading touchdowns since going down by 2. They have now evened it up and are so far the only team to score in this young third quarter at 6:20 to play in the quarter. They're going to give them that time a gain of 7. Make it 6. We'll call it 2nd down and 4 for the Trojans. The ball at their own 34-yard line. Phelps, the quarterback, only one running back in behind him. That's Clark. Gives to Clark. Big hole up the middle. 40-yard line plus first down. Trojans. He's still on his feet. 3 men to haul down Dallas Clark. The Trojans have had a habit of coming out flat in the third quarter. Not this time. So Dallas Clark gets the first down for the Trojans. And in this tie game, it is still 28-all. The Trojans on a big defensive series, having given up some yardage to a crescent march, managed to stop them and now pick up a first down on their own. 1st and 10, Trojans operating at their own 43-yard line. I-backs behind Phelps, the quarterback. Pitches right side. That'll be Harris. Has a good block throw and gets across the original line of scrimmage down to the 45-yard line. So a decent gain of about 3 yards there for Mike Harris. Mike Harris on the carry here has really had an active third quarter. He has been in on just about every tackle when he's playing defense. Saw a penalty flag go there apparently. I didn't see the flag go down, but they're going to call tripping against the Manson Trojans. Now that I think about it, I don't think I've seen more than 1 or 2 flags thrown at all against Crescent, maybe 3 or 4 in the game against the Trojans. So it's been relatively penalty-free. But here the Trojans get one that could hurt them. Officials still discussing what the ball placement ought to be here and such. Now they'll bring it on back. And on tripping, it'll be a pretty good walk-off here. Instead of having the ball at the 43, the Trojans get the 15-yarder, and they're going to put it down at about the 39. Well, that penalty equates to a 13-yard penalty from the ball placement. The ball is out at the 43, and they've got it down near the 30. I don't know how you get a 13-yard penalty, but the Trojans get a break of a couple of yards there. Harrison motion right side, penalty flag's down, late flag on it. Pass complete, left side, Dallas Clark, 35-yard line. Clark to the 40, Clark to the 45, the 50. Inside the 40 of Crescent. Clark inside the 35 will go all the way for the touchdown, but it will be called back. 2 penalty flags are down, and it will be a late flag that went down. They're going to call Harris for an illegal shift, and the Trojan fans are very upset. The reason is that Mike Harris took his position in the backfield, went down and came back up, went down again and moved, and only after they snapped the ball did they throw the flag. So they threw the flag very late, and a lot of the Trojan fans may not have seen the foul committed, but it was motion against the Trojans, the touchdown called back.
Still got a 70-yard touchdown pass, just showing how explosive these two teams can be. You can't tell which team has the momentum, and any situation like this, a long penalty, like a 15-yard penalty, can change the momentum from one team to the next.
That's true, and here the Trojans hit with 2 penalties. That will now make it, after that 13-yard penalty, I don't know where they got that one from, will now make it 1st and 25. Well, you can't say that either. They're still operating weird here. We're down at the 25-yard line is where the ball is, and the Trojans got to get it out to the 48. Make it the 47-yard line of Crescent. So it is first down and about 27 yards to go, or somewhere in there. Phelps on a shotgun formation, can't handle the ball. Fumbles it, recovered by the Loggers. Frank Phelps fumbles the ball from the shotgun formation. 1st and 10, Loggers at the Trojan 15-yard line, and there it goes the other way again. 3 big breaks in a row for Crescent. 2 costly penalties and a fumbled snap. And they have it 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line of the Manson Trojans. So just as it appeared the Trojans would dominate, the Loggers are threatening here again. 1st and 10, Crescent Loggers. Barnes the quarterback. Split backs behind him. turns, gives, right side, stopped up after a gain of a couple of yards perhaps. And on the carry, number 16, Greg Hallberg, I believe, at 4:56 to play in the third period, will pick up only a yard.
Derek Thompson was in to recover that fumble that time, Scott. The ball hit Frank in the hands and scooted away from him and bounced right into Derek's hands.
What a series of breaks there for the Crescent Loggers. But now 2nd and 9 as the Trojans will try to step it on defense. Loggers at the Trojan 14-yard line. Pitch left side. Goes for Hallberg. Get at the 10. Gets away from one man inside the 10-yard line and down to the 6. Near first down yardage.
Good running that time. A determined runner, Gary Hallberg.
And I believe they will take an official's timeout here as one of the Crescent ball players will hobble off the field. I think he might have had a shoe come off, or might also have a Charlie horse there. I didn't pick up the number. I don't want to say who I think it was. I don't know what the injury is. 4:16 to play here in the third period. The Trojans dominating in the first 6 minutes of play of this third period. They're hurt by 2 penalties and now face, on defense, a 3rd and 2 situation from Crescent at the Trojan 6-yard line, or third down and about a yard and a half, we should say. Barnes rolling right side as a man wide open in the end zone. There it is again. Touchdown, Crescent. The Crescent Loggers have absolutely destroyed the Trojan pass defense here today. And they do it again, 34-28, as they had Richardson wide open again in the end zone, this time out in the right corner as no one picked him up. But a penalty flag down goes against Manson. Touchdown stand. Well, when they go bad, they go bad. That's 4 penalties in a row against the Manson Trojans here. And, of course, the penalty here didn't hurt them, but that's one flag I'm sure they would have liked to have seen go the other way and call back the touchdown.
You could sense the momentum swinging to Manson, then that 15-yard penalty, then the 5-yard penalty, then the fumble. The game has changed complexion in one 4 or 5 play turnaround.
And it's changed that many times throughout the whole day. It's been a tremendous football game. This time they put a sort of a slot formation out to the right side on the conversion attempt and now come back and say, heck, let's huddle again.
You've watched more 8-man football, and if I seem a little incredulous at this, I am.
Well, these two teams are 2 outstanding offenses, and the Trojans really... Tim Miller on the tackle to prevent the 2-point conversion attempt, and the Trojans stay within 6 at 34-28. We'll be back in 60 seconds. My goodness, the Trojans have run into penalty problems here on the conversion attempt. We have a penalty called against them, will cost them 5 yards on the kickoff. That's 5 out of 6 plays. The Trojans have had flags thrown on them. That doesn't usually happen, obviously. 34-28, Crescent in the lead. 3:55 to play, third period. Crescent to kick off here. Kick will come down into the end zone. It'll be down there by Mike Harris very, very wisely, as Crescent got the opportunity to kick it off from midfield. And Harris says, we'll take it at the 20 to make sure we get some decent field position here. So the Trojans will start out 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Remember now, they started this third period very dominant offensively. And in that second period, as it ended, they were very dominant when they had the ball on offense. Let's see if they can get it back up here after coming back to tie the game, only to fall down by 6 again. McClellan, wide receiver, left side. Phelps to throw the football. Has the time. Has the man open. Rusty McClellan. He's got it at the 28-yard line. His aides to tackle. No, he didn't evade the tackle. My goodness. Richardson had a great move put on him by Rusty McClellan. Rusty comes back to the 32-yard line, makes a good cut, turns around, and picks up an extra couple of yards, and is now going to be a little bit slow in getting up. Looks like Coach Tom Alexander down there rubbing the calf of the leg, and could be that Rusty got himself a Charlie horse there, something like that. We'll have to wait and see what it is. We'll have Sandy Miller going down near the sideline and let us know whenever we get official word. But certainly, Rusty McClellan, Brian, has played an outstanding football game for these Trojans today.
I believe he's already caught 8 passes for the Trojans, 2 touchdowns. And I think you're right about the Charlie horse would be my guess. Both coaches talked about how hot it gets in here, particularly down on the field. It's much, much warmer up here than any place we've ever broadcasted from this season.
And Rusty now will be getting up. Remember, he did have the gimpy ankle when he came into the ball game, and gets a big round of applause there from the Trojan crowd as he steps off to the sideline, is limping a little bit, but obviously does not have the major kind of injury here that's going to be having any difficulty. So the Manson Trojans get lucky there, as Rusty McClellan has the injury, but not a serious injury. And it will be 34-28 now. Trojans trailing. Phelps to throw the football. Has Dallas Clark in the right flat. Evades a couple of tackles. Gets back to the 30-yard line and maybe to the original line of scrimmage before he is hit there. So, my goodness, the Crescent Loggers come charging in. It looked as though they might drop Dallas for the loss on the pass completion, but he gets back out to the original line of scrimmage anyway, where it'll be 2nd down and 10 now. So a completed pass for 0 yards. That's a stat you don't see go in the book very often. 2:52 to play, 3rd period. Phelps the quarterback as Jeffries out wide to the right side. Phelps dropping back to throw the football. Wants Jeffries, 40-yard line. It is short and incomplete. Frank Phelps has not missed short much today, but does on that one as Jeffries makes the dive for it. Can't come up with the football, and we'll go to a 3rd down and 10. So the Trojan offense beginning to sputter just a little bit. We'll see what they can come up with at 3rd and 10 from their own 32-yard line. I know that Coach Alexander would like at least a couple of more first downs to try to get some space between Crescent and that goal line. Trojans trailing here 34 to 28. Wide receiver Andy Finley out to the left side. Jeffries out to the right side. Finley now coming back in tight. Harris in motion right side. Phelps to throw the football. Looking for Jeffries over the middle, 40-yard line. Fumbles the football after the completion, and the Loggers have come up with it. The Trojan bandwagon is falling apart at the wheels here. No, they're going to say it is the Trojans' ball. A big break there for the Trojans as they dodged the bullet. I think it looked to everybody in the stands in the Tacoma Dome that Crescent had it. But they say that Jeffries was able to get back and get his hands on it. The fumble occurring after the whistle is what the officials are saying. All right, 4th and 4. Punt formation. Sackett for the Manson Trojans will be standing at his own 25-yard line. Takes the snap, gets the punt away. A good long punt that will come all the way down to the 30-yard line for Crescent. Richardson lets it go back to his own 15, snaps it out of the air, turns the corner at the 20, and is hauled down by Frank Phelps there. Frank Phelps hauls him down at about the 23-yard line. And Frank is going to be slow getting up here. So the Trojans have everything happening to them here. Rusty McClellan sustaining a bit of an injury earlier. Just a few plays ago, Rusty back in the game now. Frank Phelps down on the sideline after making the tackle here. And remember that Frank Phelps has that plate in his foot. He broke the leg prior to the football season. Once earlier this year, he got the plate stepped on. It's a very painful thing, but does not cause major injury. And right now, Frank Phelps getting up, walking away, barely limping. But there's a screw right at the surface of that plate. When someone steps on it or kicks it, it is exceedingly painful, but does not cause, again, the major injury. And Frank Phelps is up, and he is okay. And that is good news for the Manson Trojans. Lots of ball game left, 1:39 to play, 3rd period. And we have now Barnes, the quarterback for Crescent. 1st and 10, his own 23-yard line. Split backs behind him. Wants to give to the first man through, and that will be number 28, Gary McGarvey. McGarvey hits the middle and is stopped up right there. Mad Dog Harris celebrating back there, saying, yeah, we got him. Mike Harris, one of the guys in on the tackle at the 29-yard line, a gain of 1. These Trojans, Brian, have just had every opportunity in the world to fold and refuse to do it.
They do, Scott. They refuse to give Crescent anything.
Barnes, the quarterback, on 2nd and 9, still in his own territory at about his own 29-yard line. Pitch will come to the left side, and that will come out to the 30-yard. Oh, just shy of the 30, out at the 26. My goodness, Todd Jeffries came from nowhere to come in on Gary McGarvey and haul him down after a gain of a couple of yards. It looked as though McGarvey was going to pick up a good 5 or 6 yards more on the play, but he gets only about 2 or 3, and it'll be a 3rd down situation now for Crescent, operating at their own 27-yard line.
He found out something that time that other foes found out in North Central Washington. Don't try to outrun Todd Jeffries.
3rd down, 6 for Crescent. Big play here for the Trojan defensive unit. Barnes, the quarterback, 2 running backs in behind him. Will pitch this time, wants to go with a halfback pass. Big pressure on, and they'll turn the corner at the 30. They give him all kinds of running room to the 40-yard line, up to the 50. Phelps after him at the 40, to the 30-yard line, hauled down out of bounds at the 20. A broken play, big gainer on the ground for the Crescent Loggers. Still trying to pick up the number of the ball carrier. I could use some help on that here, crew.
I think it looks to be Hallberg, number 16.
Jerry Hallberg on the carry. Hallberg wanted to throw the halfback pass. His receivers were all covered, scrambles for it, and picks up the huge gainer of 60 yards or so. All the way down to the 22-yard line, at least, of the Manson Trojans. And Crescent just extremely explosive here. 5 seconds to play in the 3rd period. Crescent will play the last play of the 3rd period here. They have Barnes at quarterback. Split backs in behind him. Barnes takes the snap, gives through the center of the line to Hallberg again, across the 20 and down to about the 16-yard line, or make it the 17, where he's hauled down. And the buzzer sounds, ending the 3rd quarter with a score: Crescent 34, the Trojans 28. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Come on, Trojans. Well, there are 12 minutes left. The Manson Trojans have come from behind before to tie the football game, and here they'll have to try to do it again. But right now, Crescent on the move inside the Trojan 20-yard line. Pitch right side. Hallberg gets down to the 20 and is going to be knocked out of bounds there, shy of the first down. McGarvey, I should say, excuse me, on the carry for the Crescent Loggers. Gets down inside the 20 down to about the 16-yard line, where he's knocked out of bounds. It'll be third down and a long 3 to go for Crescent. Both teams have really shown that they are capable of scoring lots of touchdowns very, very fast in this football game. So we are by no means finished here. Third and a long 3 for Crescent at the Trojan 20-yard line. Barnes to throw the football as the man open at the corner. Knocked out of bounds at the 2-yard line as the Crescent Loggers continue to pick apart the Trojan defense in the passing game. That is what the Trojans were talking about at halftime. And Crescent has a first and goal at the 4-yard line of the Trojans with 11:50 to play in the football game. What an exciting game it has been. Barnes at quarterback, first and goal from the 4-yard line. Double running backs behind him again. This time will bring the play up the middle. Touchdown, Crescent. On the carry, number 28, Gary McGarvey kicks it in for the touchdown. Jimmy Lee, number 38. 36, Jimmy Lee goes in for the touchdown for Crescent. And Crescent is up again by 2 touchdowns at 40-28. And here again, a big 2-point conversion play for the Crescent Loggers. The Trojans must get something going on offense consistently here. They looked brilliant in the second quarter and in the early third period. When they get the ball back, they'll have to look brilliant again. Barnes to the right side, rolling, has the 2-point conversion. It's good. The Crescent Loggers go up by a 42-28 score, but lots of game left at 11:47 to play in the fourth period from the Tacoma Dome. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Crescent here to kick off, and it's Harris who takes it at the 10-yard line. Harris out to the 15, cutting to his right, wants the right sideline at the 25, turns the corner at the 30, down to the 32-yard line before he's hauled down. But we have had in the football game a couple of minor injuries here in this third period for the Manson Trojans, and Sandy Miller on the sideline has more for us on the injury situation. Sandy?
Scott, I was just talking to the Methow Valley physical therapist, Connie Miller. She's down here and helping out with the Trojan effort. But her equivalent, hired by the Tacoma Dome folks, says that he did these games 2 years ago, and in 5 games they had no serious injuries. So that's really nice to know.
It certainly is, and thank you very much, Sandy. Phelps set to go, first and 10. Trojans trailing by 2 touchdowns. Wants the long bomb for Jeffries. He's open, complete at the 20-yard line and out of bounds. Hold down at the 17. Whoa, the explosive Trojan offense comes alive, and the Trojans refuse to give up again. Rusty McClellan right down to talk to Todd Jeffries. Todd getting up a little bit slowly here, but he's okay. And the defender, number 28, Gary McGarvey. That one had to feel good for the Trojans because McGarvey has beaten them deep a couple of times. And Jeffries this time beats him. So it's first and 10, Trojans at the 18-yard line. They're down by a couple of touchdowns, but don't go anywhere yet. We've got a lot of football game to play in the Tacoma Dome.
50 yards on that pass, Scott.
The Trojans right back at it here. Phelps first and 10 at the 18-yard line. Takes the snap, rolls left side, wants McClellan in the end zone. Can he find him? No, Rusty's covered. Phelps tucks it in, goes inside the 15, down to the 13-yard line, a gain of at least 5. Wise move from Frank Phelps. Rusty McClellan down there waving his arm in the air, but had a defender right on his heels. And right now, Coach Tom Alexander puts up his hands in applause. Good move, Frank. A 5-yard gain, 2nd and 5 for a first down at the 12 for the Trojans. 10:30 to play in the fourth period. I couldn't go through another 4 quarters of this.
No.
42-28 Crescent score, but the Trojans trying to come back again. They've tied it once. They'd like to do it one more time here. Phelps wants to throw the football. Big pressure, rolling to the right side, still under pressure, launches the pass. It is out of bounds, down at about the 2-yard line. The intended receiver was, I think, Dallas Clark. No, it was Rusty McClellan. There is one area down in that corner of the end zone we have a little difficulty seeing because the stands are between us and some Demons down there, but it was Rusty McClellan. The intended receiver pass out of bounds.
Heaven's sake, Scott, anybody who can see that the first down yardage through the whole team like you've been doing the games I've watched can certainly see through stands.
3rd down and 5 now for the Trojans. They're at the 12-yard line of the Crescent Loggers. Split backs behind Phelps. The quarterback wants to throw it, gets the pass away. 1st down. Trojans at the 4-yard line. Jeffries on the catch. A great catch from Todd Jeffries as Frank had to throw the bullet. He was under pressure. Jeffries was in coverage. Put it in the perfect place. Jeffries dives for it and comes up with it. 1st and goal, Trojans at the 4-yard line.
I'm going to try to keep your wife from jumping out of the press box.
That may be difficult. Folks up here getting excited. 1st and goal, Manson Trojans. Jeffries wide to the right side. Harrison motion to the left side. Phelps, the quarterback, takes the snap. Hands, Clark, middle, touchdown, Trojans! The Manson Trojans come back again. And the score goes to a 42-32 margin here as the Manson Trojans put it in up the middle. Well, that time, the Trojans not bothered by the penalty flags, and they put on a very impressive offensive march, sparked by the 50-yard pass play. When they're penalty-free, they're powerful as can be. Shotgun formation on the 2-point conversion attempt. It's important. Phelps throwing for the corner. Incomplete. Knocked away by one of the Crescent Loggers.
Looks to be Dale Richardson.
And Richardson got in to knock it away, but it is still a 42-34 margin here. So the Trojans only 8 points away from tying it all up. We'll come back with a Trojan kickoff in 60 seconds.
Yeah.
Could you guys do me a favor? I have to go to the bathroom, so during the next commercial break, if you guys keep it there, are you able to do that?
The next commercial break, you mean?
Yeah, just so I have like 5 minutes that I know I can go without you guys having to take it.
You bet.
Okay, thanks.
He's going to go to the bathroom after he cues us, so... so keep it here if there's a timeout.
Hey, you guys watch this, because this is going on tape, you know.
Yeah, I know it's going on tape. That's good. I want this all on tape. That should clear our spot load, shouldn't it?
Yeah, you guys are all clear now.
We're cleared on spot load, so we'll let you go to the bathroom, Scott. See, we can be magnanimous.
Trojans here to kick it off, and on the return they'll go with a reverse and hand it off to Dan Richardson. He's going to be stopped though at his own 29-yard line as the man who picked it up was Gary McGarvey. McGarvey looked right at Richardson, said, I'm going to pitch it to you, then pulled it back in. Richardson ran toward him, then he handed it off, and the Trojans had it marked down pretty well. So not much of a return there, although the kick came up a bit short. And it will be 1st and 10 now for the Crescent Loggers, operating at their own 29-yard line. Andy Finley in on the tackle for the Manson Trojans. And Andy Finley is the only junior on this Manson Trojan football staff. Plays an outstanding game for them. Barnes, the quarterback, his club leading, but again by only 1 touchdown. Barnes dropping back to throw the football, gets big pressure from Tim Miller. Miller almost has him. He springs free. Now shovels it off at the 25-yard line. Out to the 30 and down at the 35 is Greg Hallberg. I don't know why I'm having trouble with Hallberg's name, but if anybody up here sees Hallberg, please say it out loud. Hallberg. I'm having trouble remembering it. Hallberg gets out across the 30 and down to the 39-yard line, picks up about 6 yards on it. Tim Miller just very, very nearly had the sack on that play. But Barnes, a great job to shovel it off to Hallberg, number 16, and he picks up 6 yards on the play. 8:40 to play in the football game here, 42-34. Crescent, I'm sure, would like to not only get another score, but they would probably like also to eat up a little clock here. We'll see what their strategy is. Barnes has the double running backs behind him again. This time we'll go to McGarvey. McGarvey across the right side, caught in the backfield, springs free to the 40-yard line, continues to run, carrying a Trojan tackler to the 49. What an incredible run by McGarvey. Tim Miller had to catch him from behind and haul him down at the 49. And McGarvey was caught in the backfield. The Trojans let him run out of their grasp. He just is a tremendously powerful runner on that play. So instead of the big sack, they have the big gain. 1st and 10. Crescent at the 49-yard line, playing at their own here. Barnes again, the quarterback. Everybody in tight in the formation again. Double running backs behind him. Joe Barnes turns, hands the ball off. First man through the middle, but not much running room there as Todd Jeffries is able to haul him down. McGarvey was the man with the ball again. Picks up a couple of yards on the play before Todd Jeffries is there to bring him down. Jamie Stenoyan, one of the guys in on the tackle for the Manson Trojans, and Jamie Stenoyan is a fella who doesn't get a lot of press time, but certainly does a great job down in the line, according to Coach Tom Alexander.
Jamie Stenoyan is by far our best defensive lineman. Very, very much physical. He's what we call a very physical ball player. He will really bruise or abuse the other team players.
Jamie Stenoyan on that last tackle. Here Barnes wants to throw the football. Big pressure. Penalty flags are down. Pass complete to McGarvey at the 30-yard line. Breaks away and then falls down there at the 30, but we have a penalty flag down in the offensive backfield, and we'll see who the call might go against here. Clip against the Crescent Loggers, and that is the first time in this half that a penalty flag has gone against Crescent. And for the Trojans, a big break there. They had the pass completion that took it all the way down to the 30-yard line, and instead will be a major mark-off here for Crescent. That's the kind of break the Trojans need here to try to get their hands back on that football. They're only 8 points away from the tie.
With 7 minutes left, Scott, 7:08 left, that kind of 15-yard penalty can change the momentum. That's what happened to the Trojans.
That's right. So they're faced now with a second down and 20 situation from their own 34-yard line. Make it a second and 25 yards to go. Second down and 25, Crescent, their own 34-yard line. Pitch to the right side. Hallberg will turn the corner at the 40-yard line to the 45 out near midfield before he's hauled out of bounds. And suddenly Hallberg is just getting free everywhere. You have to wonder if the Manson Trojans are beginning to tire just a little bit. They may not have quite the speed, playing with the heart, hitting hard, but they've had the little nicks and bruises injuries here that have seen players get up slowly on occasion through this second half of play, and they may be wearing down just a little bit.
Hallberg's gained 96 yards in this half, Scott. He's got over 100 for the game.
The big gain there gets them back to within reason at least. Third down and 9 now at midfield for the Crescent Loggers. Shotgun formation for Barnes, the quarterback. Barnes wants to throw. Gets some pressure from Tim Miller. Launches the pass long for Richardson. Knocked away. Beautiful pass defense by Frank Phelps. Phelps going up for the football. Knocks it away. A perfect hit. But the Crescent Loggers saying that should have been pass interference. You have the right to go up there and knock that ball away and make the hit at the time it arrives, and that's exactly what he did. Fine pass defense from Frank Phelps.
Exactly what Coach Tom Alexander was saying that the Manson Trojans had to do in pass defense in this half was to make sure that they stop the touchdown and don't look to intercept that ball, but stop those touchdowns and those long passes for the Crescent Loggers.
So, fourth down and 9, and the Loggers are in punt formation here, but you might watch for the fake. You never know. There's the snap. The punt will come away. It will be long and low. It forces Rusty McClellan back to the 10-yard line. Rusty will pick it up at the 2, and not a good move there, but Rusty barely able to evade the safety. McClellan had no idea that they were right on his heels, and as he went back, it probably should have let the ball go to the end zone. He snaps it out of the air, tries to make a turnaround, and as soon as he did, there was a defender there. Rusty did very well after that just to avoid the safety. Finally got the ball back to the 4-yard line. And it will be first in a long, long ways for the Manson Trojans there. But, of course, they do have their hands on the football. And 6:26 to play in the football game. The Trojans trailing by 8 at 42-34. Phelps, the quarterback for the Manson Trojans, will see what they call here, operating deep in their own territory. Phelps gives Dallas Clark through the middle. Nice hole for Dallas out to the 10-yard line. So the Trojans open up a 6-yarder there, go conservative, and made a good call to do that. As when you're down that deep, a safety puts it out of reach of a touchdown and a tie to go to the Kansas tiebreakers. So they want to make sure they don't have that happen to them. It'll be 2nd and 4 now from the 10-yard line for the Manson Trojans. Dallas Clark picks up 6 on that last carry. Power formation in the backfield to the right side. Phelps, the quarterback, wants to throw the football. Quick pass over the middle, complete. Mike Harris out at the 16-yard line and goes forward for another yard or two. And I'm maybe mistaken, but I think that is the first time they have gone to Mike Harris with a pass play. And he was open for it over the middle, 1st and 10 Trojans.
Tom Alexander said they'd take what they could get, and they are taking it very well so far in this half, looking for the short pass and the quick opener.
Phelps, the quarterback, on 1st down. At his own 18-yard line. One man out wide to the left side. Frank Phelps wants to throw, gets pressure, now finds the man open. Rusty McClellan at the 25-yard line. Had to come back for the ball and winds up being hit down at the 22. Unfortunate there for Rusty because he did have to come back to the ball and had a good head of steam up and could not get turned around, so they wind up with about a 5-yard gain on it. And Rusty McClellan continues to play with complete abandon. He has just been an outstanding player for the Manson Trojans all season long, and in particular in this football game. Phelps set to go, second down, 5 at his own 23-yard line. Phelps hands off up the middle. Dallas Clark, first down. Trojans at the 30-yard line. Dallas Clark on the carry. And right now, the Trojans getting a pretty good surge down in the interior of that line as well, where guys like Jamie Sadoyan and Chip Sackett live. And Chip, while his name hasn't been on the air much today, has certainly done a good job of helping that offensive line to dominate. 4:38 to play in the ball game. The Trojans trailing 42-34, but moving with the football. First and 10 at their own 31-yard line. Phelps, the quarterback, split backs behind him. Dropping back to pass. Phelps going left side for Dallas Clark. Ball's incomplete, and Todd Jeffries was wide open at the 30-yard line. Had no one around him at all. I'm sure he'll be going back in and saying, hey, folks, I was here. Let's try it over on this side next time.
Jason Armstrong was there covering Dallas Clark. There was some bumping, but no flags on that play.
There have not been a lot of flags thrown against Crescent in this second half. Clock ticking, 4:25 when they start the play here after the pass incompletion. Phelps, the quarterback, wants to throw. Big rush, rolls right side, penalty flags down, pass overthrown at the 40-yard line, intended for Rusty McClellan. And again, the call will go against who? Still looking to see what the officials might signal here. They're going to call another penalty against the Trojans. One has to say it is unusual. Very unusual when the flags go against one team. I'm not sure with the bumping that we both saw going on the pass incompletion why there would not have been a flag there but a holding call the next play. But at any rate, there was one. And the clock stops. That's the good part about penalties. It stops the clock. Right, guys? 4:19 to play. The Trojans suffer the holding penalty and will be faced here with second down and long. A most unfortunate call, I think you would say.
This is the fifth penalty against Manson that Crescent has accepted this half, Scott, and it's been over for over 45 yards.
So the Trojans hurt very badly here by the penalties. And coaches Alexander and Teague not happy down on the sideline. Second down and long for the Manson Trojans. Phelps wanting to throw the football as the power formation right side in the backfield. Gets big pressure, launches the pass intended for Jeffries downfield at the 37-yard line. Jeffries getting up angry, going to the officials saying, I was interfered with. The officials will not throw the flag. Todd Jeffries is not a kid who gets up angry. You don't see him going and complaining to officials very often. It was a close call. But the pass ball is incomplete. Third down now, and still 20 to go for the first down for the Trojans, and they're at their own 18-yard line. 4:12 to play in the ball game, and that's an eternity in this one. They trail in the game by a 42-34 score. Split backs. It's behind Phelps, the quarterback. Rusty McClellan off to the left side in the wide receiver position. Phelps wants to throw. Looking to the right side. Flare pattern. Jeffries complete. 15-yard line. Jeffries to the 30-yard line, and will be hauled down at about the 30. Well shy by about 10 yards or 11 yards of the first down. They elect to go to the little screen pattern, and one of the Crescent ball players is going to be slow getting up here, and I believe that is number 28 Hallberg, or Gary McCarvey, excuse me, and he now might be suffering from one of those Charlie horses. The players in the indoors, when they're used to playing in all that cold as they have all year long in the outdoors, tend to lose the body fluids quite a bit, and it gets warm and humid in here. They sweat a lot. And you get a lot of Charlie horses and that kind of thing, and that appears to be what's happening to McGarvey here.
Scott, if I can just interject, that was Frank Phelps' 20th completion of this game. He's 20 of 27 according to our records, and that's a 74% completion percentage. Not bad.
Not bad at all. He has had an outstanding football game, and really both of these teams have offensively. The story defensively for the Trojans has been that they have not been able to stop the Crescent pass, and then here in this third and fourth period have been victimized by penalty flags. A big play here for the Trojans. Fourth down and 11. Quarterback wants to throw. Has the man open. Rusty McClellan pitches. Clark. First down Trojans. What a play. The 49-yard line. They went to the pass at the left side to Rusty McClellan. Looked as though he'd be hauled right down, but he pitches to Dallas Clark. And the Trojans come with a razzle-dazzle and pull the first down out of the hat. My goodness, what a play. Tom Alexander said they hadn't added anything to their playbook for the playoffs, but that's one that we haven't seen for a long, long time. The Trojans are still alive. First and 10 at their own 49-yard line. Very dominant when the penalty flags don't hurt them. Phelps to throw the football. Big pressure. Caught from behind. Dumps it off. Complete. Mike Harris. And he'll have to scrape to hang on to the football at the 42-yard line. Mike Harris, a great play there. as he had to sacrifice himself because Phelps, under big pressure, gets the pass off to him, a little shovel deal at the 45. Harris was creamed, and as he went down, the ball pops free. He reached out to his right side and stuffed it underneath his back so that they couldn't come up with it, and the Trojans come up with the football. But a loss, after all of that, of 5 yards on the pass completion. So it's 2nd and 15 for the Trojans, their own 44-yard line. Phelps, the quarterback, is going to get blindside pressure again. Screen pass right side. Rusty McClellan to the 45. McClellan to the 50 is tripped up there. A gain of about 6 or 7 on the play, but McClellan does get it out across the midfield stripe, just barely, in Logger territory.
Dale Richardson did a great job for the Crescent Loggers that time, knifing past one man and tripping up Rusty McClellan.
Timeout, Manson Trojans, 2:11 to play in the game. They trail by a 42-34 score. We'll be back in a moment.
Scott, are you there?
Yeah, I made it.
Okay. Oh, we did our best.
This is the big play, this next one right here.
You want me to go down to the field? Or wait a minute, we're coming up.
(42-34). The Crescent Loggers in the lead. The Manson Trojans did a great job a few moments ago to pull one out of their hat. 4th down at their own 30-yard line. They break the 20-yarder. Then they suffer the loss, and now are at 3rd down and 9 at midfield. The ball exactly astride the 50-yard line. 3rd down and 9. Still time. We have seen both teams score touchdowns in under a minute here. Jeffries, wide to the right side. 2:11 to play in the game. Phelps from midfield at the quarterback position. Takes the snap. Phelps dropping back to pass. Once Jeffries downfield, it is complete. 1st down Trojans at the 30-yard line. Jeffries to the 25 and out of bounds there. The Trojans are in business deep in the territory of the Crescent Loggers. No penalty flags are down, I am happy to say. Oh, did I show a little bias on that one?
No, that's all right. That's all right. There have been a lot of flags recently against Manson, but not that time as they're respotting the ball. That was a 26-yard pass on 3rd down. Big play, Scott.
Respotted out at the 29-yard line. 1st and 10 Trojans with 2:01 to play in the football game. We could go to a Kansas tiebreaker. They must convert the 2-point conversion. Backs behind Phelps, the quarterback, wants to throw the football, has the time, dropping back. He has Jeffries open, complete 10-yard line to Todd Jeffries. 1st and goal, Manson Trojans at the 10. We need to go down to the sideline when we can here and find out from Sandy Miller the exact ball spotting there and whether or not they would be able to get another 1st down. So, Sandy, if you're down in that area, maybe you can help us out in that regard. We'll hope that she gets down there soon. It looks from here as though they might be able to get a 1st down, but only by an inch or so. And right now, the Trojans with 1:44 to play in the game, trailing by a 42-34 score. 1st and 10 at the 10-yard line. Phelps to throw the football. Flare pattern right side. Dallas Clark to the 5. Clark escapes one tackler. Takes it in. Touchdown Trojans. The Manson Trojans have scored with a minute and a half to play. And it is 42-40. The Trojan sideline comes alive. But that is not enough. That is not enough. Right now, Tom Alexander and Joe Teague conferring on the sidelines on what to do to get the 2-point conversion. 42-40, the Trojans have never led in the ball game. They want to tie it for the 2nd time here. Crescent calls timeout.